Getting to the heart of the matter. Back to Guy, Ben, and Frank with more Inside the News.
Welcome back to our third segment of the program, Inside the News. Glad to have you with us. Ben Brunson, the author of The Falstaff Enigma, and Esther Sling. You can find Ben at benbrunson.com and amazon.com. Frank Venuccio, the editor-in-chief of the New York Analysis of Policy and Government, the writer and the voice of the syndicated radio feature Minute Report for America. You can find Frank at usagovpolicy.com. Welcome back, Frank.
Great to be with you both. Happy Independence Day to all our listeners.
Yeah, July 4th. Happy anniversary to you as well, Ben.
Thank you. Happy 4th of July.
It's the anniversary of our country, so that it wasn't like any special thing going on there. Hey, Ben, Susan Rice and the hacking scandals and the leaking and the unmasking, we have started to dog this particular subject now for about 3 weeks, and it's of particular importance in having Susan Rice to testify if she tells the truth, and actually if she says something is important as well.
Well, I think this is potentially the most significant testimony that's going to take place this year. Susan Rice has agreed to talk to the House Intelligence Committee in July prior to the August recess. What she is willing to say and not say, this will be the most fascinating testimony there's going to be. However, it's going to be a closed-door session, so we're not going to be able to watch live on TV, unfortunately. It will be interesting if she'll take the fifth. It'll be interesting if she's willing to lie. We know she has gone on TV more than once to lie to the American people. She's always struck me as a very willing soldier. She is like a low-level mafia soldier who will do whatever the capos tell them to do. And she was willing to, on the orders of Hillary Clinton, go lie about Benghazi to everybody out there. Just one of the worst lies I've ever heard uttered on TV by any administration. She has misled. She was obviously given the task to go ask the intelligence agencies to unmask, as we're learning through multiple sources, to unmask individuals, American citizens associated with the Trump campaign. Those who have seen the unmasking requests say that all of these requests appear to be politically oriented as opposed to somehow connected to an investigation into Russian meddling. My view, and this is my personal view, is that this was out-and-out spying on the Trump campaign that was conducted by the Obama administration. I think they felt unfettered in their ability to do it because they were so certain that Hillary Clinton would win, and therefore there'd be no need to worry about any ramification post-election. That bet turned out to be a very bad bet on their part. And I think the investigation by Robert Mueller, I don't know to what extent it will pivot to this, but I do believe that this aspect of spying by the Obama administration will come under the purview of Robert Mueller and his team. And so her testimony here is very critical. She will have to be painfully aware because Bob Mueller is out there. This is the positive side of having a special counsel. Because he is out there, she has to become painfully aware that her testimony, which will be sworn testimony, will be subject to review by the independent counsel and subject to prosecution if she lies under oath to the House. So this is critical testimony. What she's willing to say, where she will step in and assert her Fifth Amendment right, I think this will be explosive one way or the other.
You know, Ben, you've opened up some really great issues there. And Frank, with Mueller, if he's willing to follow the truth, it's going to lead him there. The FISA court very upset that these unmaskings took place. And the third point is, I believe this committee, should Susan Rice start to talk, will be able to trip her up, and she'll actually say things that she's not supposed to say, Frank.
Well, if indeed she talks at all and doesn't take the fifth, as Ben suggested. The problem is, again, as Ben perfectly pointed out, Susan Rice is not even remotely adverse to lying. What she did during the entire Benghazi incident is absolutely astounding. I don't think we've ever seen anything like it in the American government. The question is, if indeed she either lies or takes the fifth and Mueller decides to research the matter further, frankly, do we trust Mueller enough to do the right thing and carry this forward? I've been somewhat distressed by the fact that Bob Mueller has brought onto his staff numerous individuals who are, after all, either Clinton or Democrat Party hacks. And I think that bodes very poorly for the honesty of the investigation. Now, if in fact Susan Rice goes down, if in fact there is an honest investigation by Mueller or the Senate or the Congress or anybody else, she's not going to go down alone. The fact is, and I saw this firsthand at CPAC and at other places, there's a huge contingent in this country that still wants to lock Hillary Clinton up. And I think that if you push this far enough, you're going to find extraordinary misdeeds on the part of Hillary Clinton, on the part of the Obama administration, up to and including the former president himself. This could well be the most explosive political investigation in the history of our country, and it will set some kind of precedent, because if you're talking about locking up not just Susan Rice, but potentially people in the Clinton campaign or Hillary Clinton herself, and starts taking a strong look at the misdeeds of President Obama, going back to and including things like abusing the IRS for the sole purpose of attacking the Tea Party, this could be the most explosive investigation we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. I want to go back to Ben in just a minute, but Frank, it is very strange that we're talking about lying. And when you became a lawyer, part of that is that you are trusted as an officer of the court not to lie, but to always bear the truth, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a practicing attorney, although I have a law degree, but yeah, a lawyer is an officer of the court and is supposed to put the interest of justice above all other interests. I don't really see that the history of the Clintons and the Obamas has any real record of veracity, and I think that they have been successful, their misdeeds have been successfully covered up by a compliant and extraordinarily sympathetic media. Now, however, I think there's enough alternative media out there that will not allow that to go forward. In many ways, the misdeeds of the Obamas, the Clintons, the Susan Rices of the world have depended totally on a compliant media. That might not be the case any longer.
Ben, it's got to trouble you as well, because we're talking, well, if she lies, and that keeps coming on up here, Ben. And yet when you were reading Clinton Cash and all of this, some open revelations came to your mind too.
Well, absolutely. Look, Susan Rice, on one level, is the type of person that Hillary Clinton likes to surround herself with, which is a willing participant in her scams and her cover-ups of those scams. So the Clintons have become, as we've documented on this show, exceedingly wealthy by virtue of their activities with the foundation, the amount of money that's been donated. It's in the billions of dollars that have been donated to the Clintons. Virtually 100% of the money donated to that foundation has been in return for political favors and political access. And everyone understands it, and it is quite clear when you look at the donors that these are people donating money to get access to Washington, the powerful people in the Democratic Party, and specifically, on occasion, to get actual favors as Hillary Clinton rendered while she was the Secretary of State, where she changed, in some cases, we had policies that had been pursued by different administrations, both Republican and Democratic, had been pursued consistently for 20, 30 years or longer, that suddenly changed 180 degrees under Hillary Clinton within weeks or a month or so after receiving a massive donation by the affected party right into the Clinton Foundation. This is all documented in Clinton Cash. It's all there. It's documented in excruciating detail. That book has never been denied by any Clinton supporter of the Clintons. Mm-hmm. It has only been attacked as being just a partisan witch hunt on the part of partisan conservatives. But no one ever denies the facts or pushes back on the facts or says, well, when you say this, here's the proof that what you're saying is wrong. That never happens because everything in the book is factual and very well researched. You can read it. You can see the crimes of the Clintons for a long period of time that has made them extremely wealthy couple, and it's all through selling political access and corruption. So Susan Rice is wrapped up in that orbit. She's part of that orbit. She's part of the defense team, like Uma Abedin and all of these people, Cheryl Mills, all of these aides, usually almost always women, it seems, that work for Hillary Clinton and have such a powerful allegiance that they will go out and even under oath tell lies to support the Clintons.
All right, that's going to conclude up this segment. It's been a great show. Glad to have you with us. We're going to be back with our final comments.
You're listening to Wayman, Brunson, and Vernuccio, Inside the News.